Hello. So it's just me in the refrigerator. It's nice and dark in here. I kind of like it. The story that is writing itself. I think I'm gonna be in May 2023. Um, I don't want him. Are you serious? Pay rent, and leave. I think that there was like maybe some landlord or something I didn't want or whatever. June. I decided to leave Hisser. Petition, none of this makes sense. Countersue. They violate my rights. Forgery. Fly to New York. Okay, so the thing with that is that the only time I've only flown into New York a couple of times. One was with my big sister. She treated me when I was 22, and because she's from there, and then another time that I flew into New York was when I flew into New York to take a train from New York all the way to Los Angeles because it was part of my bucket list. And so I did that, and well, that was years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was only like a little over $200 one way, and I was like the last person that was left that got off in Los Angeles. And I'm not for sure how I got back. I think that I flew back. I think I know I didn't take another train. But I meant it was a long, but that's what I wanted to do. He's got a big mouth, bed, something. You're going to be coming into some money. Well, that would be nice. Volunteer. Well, I've tried volunteering, but I'm kind of, it's not like I'm real lazy. I was going to volunteer at the hospital, and then I was going to volunteer like with the animals, the pets or whatever. But I have like transportation issues, and I know that's not real good, but I really need something that's reliable. I meant not just a shuttle, but like, a regular bus or whatever. But anyway, so, and the thing about, and I think I've said this before, this is where some of these I've deleted, some of them I haven't. But at the hospital, most people who work at the hospital are really positive. I mean, for me, I've noticed it's rare to see somebody that's really kind of depressed working at a hospital. I meant sometimes. And so they, you have to be kind of elevated mentally and emotionally. And that's not really me. I'm pretty like laid back. And then like with the pets, I tried that and somewhere else, and it was kind of, I could get there, but then it was like I felt like I was going to be, it was just kind of hard for me to get there. I went to the orientation. I didn't really want to get stuck with doing the laundry or cleaning of the pets. I didn't really want to do that. They don't want to. False pretenses, sliding scale, fee. They got away with it. They usually do. Where did the $60 where did the money go? Refund. She's going to become violent. Well, I don't have a history of violence, but sometimes I think that people need to be told off or set straight. And it's kind of a different generational thing. I think like my mom's generation, they just was like, just kind of told it how it was, and that's how it was. And now these younger, no offense, but these young ones are more manipulative. And I think that, they could just say that. How do they know? You don't know that because I get pissed off. Well, when I get pissed off, there's usually for a reason, okay? But sometimes I do have a tendency to, I'm very impatient. So that's another thing is I lose patience. I don't become violent, but I get pissed off. And I may talk loud to myself, but I don't, I'm having second thoughts. I shouldn't have to live like this, disappear. You're going to meet somebody. So I had a copy of something, and that guy didn't charge me. Take me out. So take me out. This is, what is this, July? It's going to cost more in the end. You know, this is like kind of what's happening here. This is in 2023. So it's very similar. And take me out, I had a situation in which, and this was from medical, that, you know, I had to talk to someone over the phone, but to take me out, and I told her the truth, and to take me out for no reason at all, because I was moving around, but she doesn't know why I was moving around. I don't really care, and got a hold of information they weren't authorized, and it snowballed. You'd be amazed on what has happened because of that. Make a mountain out of a molehill. But anyway, let's see here. I'm not buying it, general delivery. July 2023. I'm not signing another lease. I'm not buying any more stuff for this place. Now, I don't mean to be so negative with this stuff. I was sitting here watching my last video, and it was like, God, it's like so negative. And I'm thinking, well, but then a lot of the stuff in here, it's like psychic attack, you know. So it's, I was thinking, well, how can you be, I mean, I try to be funny. I don't try, I just, whatever. I'm thinking, well, geez, you know. So what was going on here was that at the time I signed, I'm on a lease, and the lease was, you know, pay the rent, and then a third of the deposit. So anyway, so they tried to like pull a fast one on me and wanted to get more money out of me. And it was like, you know, and so I didn't like that at all. It was like, she was okay, she was strong and everything, the manager, but it was just like, it's a written agreement, you know, and it's like, well, you know, I have to buy stuff for my apartment. I didn't have anything. I mean, except for what I came with, the clothes on my back and a couple other things. But, so that was like, you know, game, mind playing. Okay, she's smarter than we thought. You owe me an apology. So that's the thing, is like, I meant because I have like issues with this and this and this, they think that I'm not smart. And I mean, I graduated with higher honors from college, and I have like some medical things going on, and besides, God will tell me what's going on. Well, and what I mean by that is through the dreams, because some of those dreams come true, and some of them don't. But like this stuff here, and you know, that I'm reading and stuff in the dreams, you know, sometimes, and a good part of the time, I shouldn't say a good part of the time, but things have come to pass. So, you know, if someone's going to mess with me, it'll be in a dream. I'll just put it that way. Okay, okay, so here's what's going on here. I'm glad I have this. Intervene. You have been forewarned. Delay, erase. Okay, and then medical coverage says my application has been delayed when actually that application and another have been deleted. So I was on the phone, and you know, she told me, you know, that they will process it, but I went online, okay, and it was deleted. There wasn't an application. And then there was free rent, and that came to pass because I was reimbursed some money. And one of the amounts was very close to the amount of the rent. So I received an amount equal, okay, yeah, okay, so P or V, it's pay or vacate, leave her alone. I think somebody said that around 1 a.m. in the morning. A soft presence of an older man made his presence known by running his fingers at the end of the bedspread. So this is weird, and it's so weird because I feel like I've already said this stuff, but then, you know, then I go back and I don't know, maybe it's in the other ones, but anyway, yeah, so there was, at this place, you know, this is actually the place where all the 3 6s were, and that's so weird because in a different, like years before, there's, you know, things with 3 6s, which is weird. So anyway, um, so what was going on here is that there would be it was an old man, but I think that he kind of intervened a little bit because I was in bed and then I would feel like someone running their fingers across the bedspread, like at the end. It's so weird, these things that I experience. And it's weird that because it happens when I'm in bed. Like, I mean, it hasn't happened here, thank God, knock on wood. I don't know how many times I've knocked on the wood. But I've had just really bizarre things happen while in bed, just weird things. I mean, something did happen. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but for the most part, it's been better. It's been okay here. Medical emergency, short notice. They won't suspect you. She is suffering. Surprise a friend. So what ended up happening is I was calling to get medical or whatever, and I talked to this really nice lady, and she put the stuff through. Because I was gonna have to drop one of my my medical coverage because it was just too expensive. So anyway, 80 wrongful death. So I don't know what that means, 80 wrongful death. So 80 was part of the amount. Oh, okay, so that might have been the money that was reimbursed. I don't know if it was reimbursed or what you call it, but that I got with this situation. And I have mentioned this. This is just really bizarre. It's almost like deja vu repeating itself. I have mentioned that I'm like, and there hasn't been too many amounts recently, but like in the past, the amounts have been pretty accurate. And I think I mentioned this, but there's been like $300, okay? And that was it was this month. So April 4th, there was $300. I got the word 300. A relative of mine mentioned $300, and he doesn't know about this. I mean, he hears from God, and he doesn't know that he hears from God. Okay, and then there was I had some identity theft, and people were sending me like things that I bought that I didn't buy. And this was in that state with the 3 6s. So I got one of those, and it was $299, and for a Norton. And it was like, it wasn't to me though this time. It was somebody, there was like, 245 people that they sent it to. And so this, it wasn't my name, it was somebody else's name. But he sent it back saying, I canceled it. I mean, this happened like a couple times this month, but it was the same amount. So, and I think, so anyway, late, I don't want them involved. She is reliable, gold. See, it's just so weird. It's just like I just did this stuff. Maybe I deleted it. Okay, so I've been getting, like when when I get the word gold, it's like a gold mine because the information that I know. And I don't think I know everything, and I don't think all the stuff is accurate. I just think I just write it down because I just do. But I think the dreams are more accurate. There's just too much anxiety and fear in the stuff that I'm reading to you. I've been tossed around like a rag doll, I would say that. You can't do that. Turn her in. So now we're in August. August 2023. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. Letter, step down, closure. They are trying to get more money out of me. I always try that, yet they don't want to give me a job. Okay, so medical doctor mentioned letter. That guy was a real prick, man. He really was. Um, in fact, I didn't go back there. And I went in there and I told him where I was from. And then he was sitting there, and before that, and before that. And it was just like, and I answered him like an idiot because I'm thinking, most of the doctors that I've had are trying to help me. And this guy was just, he was more interested in where I've been. And it's like, well, what is the point of doing that? And he didn't have good referrals, like, oh, he's the worst doctor, whatever. But it's like, I felt like I was going to, I've been to Canada once. And that was a long time ago, and it was just I just spent one day there. I didn't even spend the night. And, it was just to go and do it. And so what they did is they pulled me aside, and you go up there and they ask you questions. And they pulled this other guy aside who looked homeless. And I told them my income, which was, not real good. So they pulled me aside, asked me all these questions because, of course, in Canada, if you get sick in Canada and you go in the hospital, Canada has to pay for everything. And which is, people I'm sure go up there and abuse that. But I wouldn't do that. I mean, if it was an emergency, it's a little different story. But there's also Mexico, But if you get ill there and you go to the hospital, then you do. But I wouldn't think it would be fair to Canada, in my opinion, if somebody did that. But anyway, sometimes people get desperate. They do, desperate things. So, so they asked me all these questions. They wanted to know. I meant just all kinds of things, and then I showed them the return ticket, and they were like, it was a sign of relief. That wasn't my intent. I just wanted to go up there, and I was afraid to go to a different country by myself. But I just walked around, and then I left, return. Then it says, okay, so continuing from that, I'm going to have a little conversation with the state of whatever. She has been playing you since day one. Blowout, that's that manager. Anyway, they will protect you. She eventually will be stopped. Well, that person, and I don't know if I remember if I said this or not. Sometimes I'm deleting these things. Well, she's no longer working there. I checked the following year in 2024. She wasn't there. Neither was the accountant. So I meant her name, and neither one of their names were on the rosters. So anyway. What are you doing here? Well, see, they were suspicious of me because I came all the way across country. And the only reason why I came across country was because I was desperate. I wanted my own apartment. I deserved my own apartment just like everybody else. And so I thought, okay, and I was kind of interested in exploring the East. I was close to New York and Boston. New York is too big for me. I've tried to like New York, but I just get so overwhelmed when I'm there. I'm just really not thick-skinned at all. And and it's so expensive. It's just outrageous. But I don't know. I prefer smaller environments, and each their own. They will take it away from you. I don't know what they were taken away from you from. They are going to have to move you, break the law. I don't know. So it sounds like that they broke the law. She made the mistake of keeping you in the building. So I think that they may have fibbed or lied a little bit to get me in to this place. But she made the mistake of, I think she took me off all these other apartments that I could have moved to and kept me in the building, which was a huge mistake because I think that they broke the law, possibly, and I needed to move. And so I don't know. I left. I mentioned that. I'm talking to an African American lady. She asked me, "Are you kidding?" I say, "No, I'm not. Passive." So with this situation, and it's similar to here. I'm passive with when it comes to authority, because I was always told to kind of respect authority. Even at this point, when they're in the wrong, but it's like, well, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Oh, I heard it. Oh, I dreamed it. They're not gonna. It's just like, well, how do you say that? Oh, God told me. How do you say? And especially if it comes true, And what if it doesn't come true? What if it's all just, oh, you're paranoid, blah blah blah. Oh, they could easily lie. But that's a part of it, and I wish at times I nipped it in the butt sooner. But then, what if it doesn't come true? Then you're considered paranoid or schizo or something. That's the issue right there. Okay, so I'm in August. I need to get out of here. Restitution. Yeah. I feel this way when all cooped up. I received a letter in the mail from housing. Okay, you won't come back. Yeah, so that's one of my fears. When they say, okay, come with us, I won't do it because, then, they don't, then where am I going from there, And I don't know. I'm not for sure what this is about, but I think it might pertain to my former state, retaliate. So, some of the stuff that I'm reading, it's so weird because, I meant just that, similar things are going on, and then I was talking about 3 6s in a row, and then this state in particular, I mentioned that I've never seen so many 3 6s in my life, but that was before I moved there. So anyway, that I wrote about it. So honest to God, yesterday or the day before, I was getting the name Ron Howard for some reason. So today I got a call from someone in the Southwest that lives on Howard Drive. A friend's girlfriend has a relative this name as well. So that's what I mean by there's coincidences. And this isn't paranormal or anything. It's just coincidences. There's nothing psychic or anything about it, I don't believe. So, and then there's like, they won't believe you, use their stupidity against them, higher up, reschedule, death threats. Well, I think that people may be threatened, but if there's a lot of money involved or whatever, or, something like that there could be, or somebody's job is going to be, jeopardized or whatever. She seems to know things. Yes, I do. And how do I seem to know things? By God. All of this has been given to me by God. All these dreams, all these visions, except for, the psychic attack or whatever, the just being tormented. Of course, there's going to be that, because Noah doesn't want you happy. He doesn't want you to whatever. He's always trying to destroy things, right? But I do seem to know things, and the reason why I know things for the most part is God. I mean, where else would I get this information from? But like I said, besides a psychic attack and whatever, leaking information. Clinic wants me to reschedule for something. Strange vision of a strange vision of a guy with dark hair and a woman walking around looking confused or cautious. And so there's a vision. So I don't remember this vision, but sometimes like in About Me, I'm going to put that on there, and there's things in there about and that's what started it all, is the About Me, about something that happened to me when I was a teenager. But then I talk about another vision that didn't occur, but it was very similar. Someone breaking into my bedroom window. So I'm trying to get her fired. I don't think that was my intention. But I'll get out of something that I don't want to do. I think that was her. You know, they're always trying to like not give you a job or some other thing, I don't know. Taking advantage of a vulnerable adult. Too many people have seen you, and this is the similar thing that's going on. It's just, you have a very special gift. Yes. It can also be a curse, but, you know, it goes with the territory. And I think I mentioned one time, you know, having dreams for 15 years and no prize at the end of it. And, you know, I meant God was like, you know, when you seek my face and not my hand, he'll bless me. But then you throw in the curse of anytime a job or a relationship comes up that I'm supposed to have, boom, poof, gone. For 15 years. And it's like, well, how do I break a curse that I don't understand? I don't know why I have that curse. Is it because, you know, I mean, nobody else has that curse in my family? What did I do? And it makes me wonder, okay, well, there's some kind of curse on me because I'm a woman. So I don't know where that curse comes from. I just don't know. P or V, this is August, there is an air behind it, yes. So that's one thing that I don't know where the air is, but I won't be surprised. Not getting along. I don't know if it was not getting along. This area, it wasn't necessarily getting along, I just didn't really fit in. Something bail on them, he'll get caught 2 weeks. They are going to think you are crazy. Who is they? I think it might be that they think you are crazy. Oh, I guess they ruined it for me. Okay, whatever. That is why I am a protected class. Break lease. I'm very unhappy here. Donation change the locks. So I don't know what all this stuff is about. I'm a donation, change the locks. It's like, what, you know, you're going to run out of money. I mean, it's like the same old, same old. I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on in reality. That's why I'm a protected class. Covered up. She is fighting back. She is waiting for you to leave. Notice, casino. So, lose his license. Ban, lie to get me in. See, I do believe this. Some of these people, they want to help you with housing, but then, you know, not all these people, not a lot of people have the best rental, but, you know, so they do what they can, but the point is then, you know, eventually there's going to be issues with that. Newspaper, someone will eventually believe you. 3 months. They have to pay for a voucher. They need to be audited. So they were, I think I mentioned that I wouldn't be surprised if they were audited because the people, they're no longer there working, following, whatever. Leave me there, trip, packing. And I'm glad I'm not there anymore. I really am. I don't really have any desire to go out east. I don't even think I've been even out east since then. Packing, smart. I'm not safe here. I'm not safe anywhere, actually. It kind of goes with the territory. Oh, it's 29 minutes. Okay, so that's it for that one. Oh, I'm just trying to get it done. Okay, thank you for watching.